Hello, everyone. It's Misha Green, DC editor, and I am really excited to be speaking with Commissioner Emile C. Thompson of the Public Service Commission of the District of Columbia. The DC Public Service Commission is the district's utility regulator. The commission governs the utilities Pepco, Washington Gas, and Verizon that serve DC. I'm sure you guys know those names very well for all of our DC people tuning in. And so you guys need to listen to this stream for that reason. The commission ensures that the utilities provide safe, reliable, and quality utility services at reasonable rates to DC customers. And the commission was established by Congress in 1913 as an independent district government agency. And there are 3 commissioners that are appointed to 4-year terms by the mayor and confirmed by the DC Council. And let me tell you all about Commissioner Thompson. Prior to the commission, Commissioner Thompson was an assistant United States attorney in the U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C. As an assistant U.S. attorney, as an assistant United States attorney, he prosecuted homicides, and served as a supervising deputy chief in the misdemeanor section. He was also a principal member on the DC Water Board of Directors since 2016. And while on the board, Commissioner Thompson chaired the Human Resources and Labor Relations Committee and served on the Governance Strategic Planning and DC Retail Rates Committee. And the commissioner began his career as a clerk for the Honorable, who's retired, Herbert B. Dixon Jr. of the Superior Court of the District of Columbia. And he also served in the mayoral administrations of Vincent Gray and current DC Mayor Muriel Bowser. We are so happy to have you on the show today, Commissioner Thompson. Thank you so much for being here.
No, thank you for having me, Ms. Green. This is truly a pleasure. I love to get a chance to talk to the people of DC about what we are doing at the commission. A lot of times people don't know. And so I think it's always great when we get that information out and people have a chance to give us feedback.
No, I think that's such a great point. I mean, I've learned a lot about what the Public Service Commission did as a journalist. Yeah, I'm a native Washingtonian, always sort of known and exists, and I would see my parents get mail, and even as in the beginning of my work here at the AFRO, I had really no idea what the Public Service Commission did, and so it's been really a great honor to learn about what you all are doing. I participated in the DC Clean Energy Summit, with my dogs in the background, a few weeks ago, and really learned a lot, and just all the work that is being put into making the district great in the city that we love. So thank you for taking the time to speak with our viewers today and help them understand a little bit about what the commission is doing and what you all are all about. So if you don't mind, I guess let's dive on in. First of all, we're in the middle of the pandemic. Before we get into the nitty gritty, how are you doing?
No, it's been what, about 15, 16, 17 months now. But we're doing fine. We're very blessed and lucky. We were able to stay employed. Had some friends who got COVID, but for the majority of them, they have survived. And so now it's just about being safe and trying to wait out this last little bit of it, I guess. How about yourself?
Feeling good. I saw someone post on Twitter yesterday that we're like entering junior year of the pandemic and how crazy that is. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's how it's feeling. But I'm so blessed, and my family has really worked to remain safe, and so I'm just thanking the Creator and knocking on all the wood that we stay safe and healthy, and super thankful for everything that the district is doing to ensure our safety as well. So I'm feeling good. Thank you for asking. So let's just dive on into what's happening with the commission. We know that the commission does a lot in the community to educate and share information to assist utility customers. We've talked about everything that you do with Pepco and Washington Gas and Verizon. But can you talk to viewers about how you've assisted utility customers during the pandemic itself through the Here to Help DC campaign?
Yes. Well, when you first started talking about the Public Service Commission, you talked about how we set rates and we ensure safe, reliable, quality service. But another thing that we've really taken on is consumer education. And so Here to Help DC falls right in line with that. Here to Help DC is a coalition of district agencies that serve district utility customers. And we've come together to help residents and businesses impacted by COVID-19 by providing them information on how to save energy and money.
Which I think this time that we've been through, we know how important saving finances is. And like I said in the Clean Energy Summit, I learned about how many resources are available in order to help folks save money. So, how did the Here to Help DC Coalition start?
Yes, that's a great question. So at the onset of COVID-19, the commission, as well as our partner organizations, understood that COVID-19 was going to be here for a while, and there were going to be long-standing impacts. And so this prompted us to approach DCSEU, DCOPC, and DOEE about joining forces to really magnify our voices to inform consumers about various assistance programs and resources. So to that end, we created a website that's a one-stop shop for both DC residents and businesses. It lists all the programs and resources that are available to help you with your utility bill. And you can go to that website. It's here to help dc.dc.gov. And it's here, the number 2, help dc.dc.gov. Oh, and then it just popped up. So it's even better. But that website, it has 3 main categories: consumer protection, consumer assistance programs, and saving energy and money. And we also list other utility-related resources that can help consumers.
Thank you for that. And so you guys see the website there, here to help dc.dc.gov. And we'll also make sure to put it in the comment section so you can just go ahead and click that link so that you can get the help and resources necessary. So though we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and as you said, we really aren't sure when we're going to sort of get over this hump. I just spoke with Dr. Marcela Nunez-Smith of the White House COVID-19 Task Force, and we were talking about the fact that we're still in this, but sort of the public health emergency has dissipated. And so what can people do to avoid their utilities getting shut off now that the public health emergency itself has ended?
That's a great question. And what we've been saying through Here to Help DC is make a plan and pay what you can. We understand that customers have been hit hard financially, so we want to make sure that customers know that help is available. District residents who are behind their Pepco, Washington Gas, or their Verizon landline bills are encouraged to start payment plans as soon as possible to avoid disconnections. We want you to make sure that you're no more than 2 months behind to avoid having your utility service disconnected. And typically those who are enrolled in utility discount programs, which we'll talk a little bit more about later, through Pepco, Verizon, or Washington Gas, or who are part of the Stay DC initiative, they will not have their utility service disconnected because they are in kind of like a protected class. Finally, the commission, we've prohibited Washington Gas from any disconnections for non-payment due to some issues they have right now with their call center. They're experiencing extremely long wait times. And so as a regulator, we took the position that, well, if customers can't call in and talk to you guys and set up payment plans or enroll in programs, then you can't disconnect their service And so right now, until they improve the wait times and improve the quality of their call center, they cannot do any disconnection. So that will be until this issue is solved.
That is awesome. I really appreciate you sharing with the people how you all are able to advocate for them, because I think that people don't realize that the government cares, right? And
Yes, yes.
you know, uh, and such things as not being able to speak to a representative for Washington Gas can really make a difference uh, in your planning and starting a payment plan and things of that nature. So this is all good to know. And as a DC resident, I am like loving all of this information. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So you shared a little bit about the utility discount
Mhm.
programs that are available, such as Stay DC. But can you speak a little bit more about that for the folks who are just tuning in about some of these programs?
Yes, each of the utility companies has um, have some type of discount program, and what we found is even prior to the pandemic, these utility programs were underutilized. And so, as the pandemic really took force and we saw the effects of it, the commission we were concerned about the financial hardships of utility consumers who are unable to pay their utility bills after the moratorium on utility shutoffs was lifted. So one of the things we did was we increased the income threshold so that we could increase participation in utility discount programs. As a result, more customers will benefit from the utility assistance programs. Residential customers who may have been temporarily or permanently lost their job and did not qualify previously, well, they'll now hopefully be able to take advantage of PEPCO and Washington Gas programs. So the PEPCO program is called RAD. It's the Residential Aid Discount Program. And essentially what it does is it offers a monthly credit which covers the full customer charge and energy charge for distribution. Washington Gas offers a similar program called the Residential Essential Service Program, or RES. And what it does is it discounts 100% of the distribution portion of a customer's bill from November through April each year. And then finally, the commission has also established a senior citizens and disabled resident credit, where eligible seniors and individuals with disabilities will automatically receive an additional monthly discount of $7.50 on their bill each month.
Awesome. And can residents find out all this information still on Here to Help DC?
Yes, so it's definitely on Here to Help DC, and it's also on our website as well, dcpsc.org. We have a tab right at the top that's called Consumer Corner, and you can find out about these programs and other great programs as well.
Great to know. Great to know. And so tell us where, or I guess rather, um, what is the commission's involvement with these utility scams that people are uh, facing? I know we're worried particularly about um, our aging and wiser residents who become
Mhm.
victims of these scams. And I don't even know what to trust. I get people knocking on my door, telling me they're from Verizon or from Pepco and they're here to help me. Can you tell us how you guys sort of work to help residents avoid these utility scams and what these utility scams are all about?
Yeah. Again, that's another great question. Before COVID-19, our Office of Consumer Services had already begun to see an increase in complaints regarding utility scams. There were incidents where individuals were impersonating utility representatives over the phone, online, or even coming to your house in person. Once COVID-19 really took off and things got worse, the scams got worse. There's a stat that in March of 2020, right as COVID-19 was taking hold and people were starting to have to stay home, Americans received more than 132 robocalls a day. And scammers, were taking advantage of consumers who are at home more often and who were available to answer the phone. And so, sorry, hold on one second here. Yeah. And so what we started doing was we started trying to put certain protections in place such that was not the case. I'm sorry. Something's going on here with my computer.
No worries. And I'm getting like a load thing. So excuse me, folks, if I get disconnected as well. There's something going on. We always say this here at the AFRO, when there's good information coming, that's exactly when.
Exactly. So I don't know what's going on here. My computer is. So okay, sorry.
No worries. I'm just hoping, am I coming out like a very weird person right now? Or can you all hear me? Because I'm worried about my Wi-Fi at the moment. So
no, I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
Okay.
Hopefully this is just all me.
All right, no worries. But I don't think so. Like I said, last week we were talking domestic violence resources on one of our shows, and suddenly the internet just would not work for us. So we joke that as soon as those resources and difficult things that folks need to be available, when the stream always wants to act crazy.
Exactly.
Is your computer getting itself together?
I think we're good now. I'm sorry.
No worries.
So, going back to the issue of the scams, I think the things that we try to stress is that people tend to think that the scammers go after a certain subset of the population. And while that is true to some degree, with the utility scams, we've seen they go after everybody, young, old, rich or poor, regardless of educational system, educational level. In fact, the commission's own phone number was spoofed at one point as part of a Pepco robocall scam, and Pepco customers were receiving calls from individuals who falsely claimed that the customer's electric service would be disconnected unless immediate payment was made over the phone. And that's always the scammer's goal, right? To get either money over the phone or access to sensitive information, sensitive personal information, so they can steal money from individuals. And so, this is very unfortunate because during this time, people are already dealing with a high level of emotional and financial stress. And so, one of the things we always say is that, if you receive a phone call with a threat to disconnect, that's a red flag. When consumers are caught off guard, consumers will be pressured to make rash or quick decisions, and that's what scammers try to do.
That's really, really good to know. So guys, if you get those calls, do a little bit of research before you pay that bill. Don't immediately think that your service is going to get disconnected or that you're even in jeopardy of such. Scammers are alive and well, and I can just, as a quick anecdote, I've become a victim of it twice in the past month. Of not until I hope it's not utility scam. I don't know how scammers and hackers have gotten my information, but last week my card was completely depleted from scammers. So they are alive and well, and I've been the victim of utility scams before, or scam calls, and realized this is not Pepco. I paid my bill, or I know I'm on a payment plan, but we have to be cognizant of it, folks. And so, really good to know that if you get that disconnect call, to not panic immediately, and do the due diligence, folks. So this is a question that I have been dying to ask because people have been asking me, what is happening with this 771 area code, and when is it officially implemented?
Yes, so that is definitely a hot topic right now. Everybody loves their 202 area code, and they are very scared of 771. But so just as a little background, the commission was notified by a telephone company that we are actually running out of space in the 202 area code. As you know, in other jurisdictions, other states, there are multiple area codes, but DC is unique as always, in that we've kept that 202. But we're running out of space, and so we needed to accommodate new phone numbers and new services. We had to establish another area code. Our current projections show that the district will run out of phone numbers with the 202 area code somewhere between the next month, November, and the third quarter of 2022. And so time is running out to get that 202 area code.
For sure. And so, like, I know, I think when I first did my article on the 771 change, and this was a while ago, that I found out that people might start getting 771s as soon as November. Is that the case? Or,
Yes.
oh, okay, so even
Mhm.
if we're not completely out of 202s by November, people will already start getting the 771.
Right. So the way it works is different batches of phone numbers are distributed to different carriers. So certain cell phone carriers. And so one cell phone carrier may run out of their batch of 202s and then have to go to the 771s, whereas another carrier may still have some more of those 202 numbers. And so over the next few months, you'll see some people getting 771s and some people getting 202s. So, but we fully expect that by the end of the third quarter, there will be no more 202s.
Oh my goodness. That as a native Washingtonian, I am like holding on to 202 with everything. But it's so funny because my cell phone number, which I've had since I'll say eighth grade, and y'all don't know my age. Since
Okay.
grade. And it's a 301. So I don't even know why I have it so much in my heart, but I'm like, I have to change it now. But no, but I also, when I did the article, I talked to a lot of Washingtonians who were really embracing the change. I mean, as DC grows, which is a wonderful thing that we're growing and expanding, and that people have access to cellular devices and things like that, because that's not always been the case. And so, looking at it from the perspective of the fact that expansion is a great thing, I think it's really exciting. I do want to know though, you all went through, or I guess still are educating folks on how to use the 771, what that transition is like. How many Washingtonians did you run into who were confused that they had to put in an area code now?
Well, for the most part, people know now, you have to dial 10 digits when you call, especially if a cell phone, right?
Right.
Typically, the people who forget about the area code are people who are heavy landline users, who are just used to dialing the 7 digits using their home phone. But a few things before I do want to mention a few things here. Just in case anybody's worried, if you have a 202 number right now, you will keep that number. This only applies to people who are getting new numbers. So don't think tomorrow your phone number is going to change or anything like that. So that's one thing. But yeah, make sure you dial 10 digits. And one of the things that we are telling people is that you should look at any type of thing that has automatic dialing, your home security services, software, and make sure that is in fact programmed to do 10 digits as opposed to 7. In addition, look at your business stationery, right? Sometimes you might not have the full 10 digits on your business stationery, your luggage tags. Another good place to look is your pet tags. But check anywhere, make sure you have the full 10 digits, because the last thing you want to happen is after the mandatory 10-digit dialing goes into place, somebody can't reach you with your missing luggage.
For sure. Or as you guys know and can hear in the background always, my dogs. That's a really great point. So thank you so much. And Are people still able to participate in some of the educational programming surrounding the 771 implementation, or is that done with and they need to get ready?
No, well, so yes and no, right? So it's happening. So yes, get ready. But if you have any questions about it, you can always call the PSC directly at 202-626-5100. Or again, you can go to our website, dcpsc.org, and there's information on there about the new process and, just becoming more comfortable and any questions you may have.
Thank you. Thank you for that. So, guys, call the Public Service Commission, or again, go to the Consumer Corner on dcpsc.org for more information. So, what are some of the other upcoming consumer initiatives that the Public Service Commission has going on?
Yeah, well, you can feel it outside. The temperature started to change. And so we're fully in fall now, but we're looking forward more towards winter. And one of the big things is weatherizing your home and saving on your winter utility bills. On our Winter Raid DC website, we have compiled resources and information to help the consumer stay up to date on how to save on utilities during the winter and in light of the effects of the pandemic on the public. We have a portion of our website called Act Now, where we provide tips on preparing your home, suggestions on reducing energy costs, and supplies to have on hand. That, in addition to the consumer discount programs I mentioned earlier, those will really help consumers get ready for the winter and try and save as much money as possible.
Good to know. Great to know. We know that the weather change has already been so dramatic.
Yeah.
I saw someone post earlier today that I think it was you're a punk or you're soft if you've turned on your heat already, and I immediately turned mine off because I was like, oh gosh, that's me.
Yeah,
And I don't need it.
yeah, I did that on Monday. I was like, okay, not as strong as I thought I was.
Yeah.
But yes.
No.
Yeah.
But it's good to know again that there's programming available to help us save as the weather gets colder. 'Cause we need to stay warm and comfortable in our homes. A lot of us are still stuck at home and working from home, and so having these utility assistant programs available while we're here and working and doing is great to know.
Yeah.
So how can folks keep up with all the initiatives going on with the Public Service Commission?
I think the best resource I can tell people to always go to is, you go to the commission has an Office of Consumer Services, and they can answer any question you have about any of these various programs. If you have unresolved utility complaints with Pepco, Washington Gas, or Verizon Landline, and they are always available to help. You can, again, call them at 202-626-5100, or you can go to our website, dcpsc.org, to get any answers or questions you may have. But they're always there to assist and want to help.
Thank you so much. And I always say this, it's like after we've had such a great conversation, time has moved by so fast. There's so much more I could probably ask you, but that means you have to come back.
Of course, I would love to. This has been a great experience. The AFRO does amazing work, and so anytime you want to have me back, I would love to.
Thank you so much. And I'm seeing our folks talking about how these scams have gotten to them and how crazy it is. And I just appreciate all of our viewers for tuning in. This is such great information. And as I always say, sharing is caring. I'm sure Barney was maybe the first, but I really think in particular, sharing is caring in terms of all of the resources that the Public Service Commission has to offer. Look out for your village, folks. These people need to get this information. Q, thanks so much for tuning in as always. Thank you. as well. Thanks to all of those tuning in. Lisa, Jewel, I see Angela, Dana, Demir, I see you all in the house. Thank you all so much. Again, share this live. It'll be here as long as Facebook and YouTube exist. And so thank you so much, Commissioner Thompson, for your time. We really appreciate it. And again, please come back and see us.
Certainly, my pleasure. And I hope you have a good winter.
Thank you. Thank you. Now that I know the resources to offer, it'll be even better.
Yes, there you go.
Yes. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.